Shout out. The Connects. Luis Guzman. Don't ever go, never leave my side. Passion's all I have, courage is my drive. And if I lost you, I would lose it all together.
Welcome to I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast, where we highlight the journey of entrepreneurs and business people alike to showcase that every light and dark moment create a beautiful piece of art. This is episode 40, the big 40. I am your host, Luis Guzman. My guest today is a return guest and the owner and partner of Paramount Gym in Matawan, New Jersey. Paramount Gym, a 6,300 square foot facility, opened February 5th, 2022, and they hit the ground running. Since their inception, they have grown the culture of fitness in New Jersey by offering the most up-to-date equipment, partnering with local businesses like Underground Nutrition, personal training services, and more importantly, creating a home in the fitness world for newcomers, athletes, and even influencers such as Luke Elsman. They are a staple in their community and have always been giving back in the forms of toy drives and a hero stair climb that benefits the Tunnels to Towers Foundation and 9/11 survivors. I had the chance to interview him and his partner 3 years ago, and he is back today to talk about what is next for Paramount Gym and what we can expect for years to come. He has overcome addiction, has been sober, and has been growing ever since, and spends his downtime practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and can never say no to anything sweet or being in front of a camera. A true inspiration for anyone that has found themselves doubting if they truly can do something. This guy here has proved he is great. John Ramsay, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You really
just ran down in 5 minutes. I mean,
the 3-year run, right?
That was impressive. I mean, you put out my terrible eating habits.
Come on. I get hungry when I go into your Instagram and I see all these treats and your 36th birthday, a million little mini donuts.
Oh man,
dude,
that was a long time ago. Well,
how old are you?
I'll be 43 next month.
God bless. I'm 40.
What's today's date?
Today's I can't even think. 19th.
I'll be on May 17th. I'll be 43.
Well, happy early birthday, brother. I thought you were younger than me.
No.
You're older than me by 2 years.
I just got the baby face,
That's
bro.
You look good. That's a compliment. That's awesome, dude. John, thank you for coming back, man. You reached out to me a couple months ago, and obviously scheduling conflicts, but we made it work.
Yeah.
And just want to tell you thank you. I mean, we were talking about this behind cameras before we started shooting, but I will always be grateful for the guests. The first 10 episodes of this podcast, now we're on 40. And here you are back again. Always eternally grateful for those people that came on and didn't know me from Adam and gave me a shot to showcase their story. And you were one of them. So thank you.
Oh, no, absolutely. I think, I'm happy to do it. I reached out to you. I mean, at the risk of sounding cheesy, I had seen you popping up in my feed a lot. Congratulations, by the way. You have come a very long way.
Thank you, man.
20,000 subscribers.
Oh, so thankful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You mentioned, we started to talk about it off camera about the, Justin and Scott and I playing with the podcast. And I mentioned how it kind of fizzled out. This is not an easy feat.
It's not easy,
20,000 subscribers is insane.
No, thank you, man. I'm thankful.
It is hard work. It is tedious work. And that's why, we kind of gave up because our heart wasn't in it. So it wasn't. I mean, it was, it was a lot of fun. But it just got to be, more work than it was fun. And, I think we I don't want to say it fizzled out. Let's just say we put it on, we hit the pause button.
Yeah.
Who knows what the future holds, but I mean, just based upon the effort that like my dipping my toes in the water, seeing with that effort, my hat goes off to you.
Thank you, man.
What you have built is insane. And I'm grateful you reached out to us, 3 years ago. You say you're grateful to us, but like, I remember when I got the phone call and, you kind of, we've been open. I think I said in the podcast 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think so. We're talking.
It was like
March.
Probably
like the end of March.
Yeah.
We were on that pink cloud that we were open. I think we mentioned how difficult it was for us to get open with delays, permits, equipment. So we were still on that pink cloud. We were on coffee break, man. We were just so excited that we were open.
Honeymoon phase.
All the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was no like, all the real work was done prior to us opening. And we were just kind of basking in that. And we were grateful for you to, reach out to us. We were happy to come out. We felt like rock stars, really. This guy wants to have us on his podcast in his basement, and it was awesome. We had a great time, and I look back on those memories, and we've stayed in touch.
Absolutely, yeah.
The direct messages since then, and I've been able to watch your journey, personally and business wise, and it's awesome, man. We had a lot of fun. I mean, I remember when you sent me those questions, and I was like, oh, these are, I forget what you called them.
Mastermind questions. I still got some here. So
they were awesome. So if you got some new ones, man, I'm excited to jump on those. I didn't have any reflection time. So for anybody watching, at home, last time I think I had a solid week to reflect on the questions that you gave me.
Don't worry, man. It's gonna be all good. No,
I'm excited. I was happy. I'm happy to come back. I'm happy to talk about Paramount as a brand, where we've what we've grown into in the last 3 years, what our plans are for the future, and excited to hang out, man. Have a conversation.
Likewise, man. Listen, thank you for those beautiful words. Obviously, my thing with the podcast was a mustard seed when you met me. And it doesn't happen the way it's happening. And I'm thankful for where we are right now as we're paddling this ship moving forward. But it doesn't happen without the hard work of everybody that you don't see on the camera. And that's, Julian here to my right, Encore, all the guys upstairs that make sure all the editing and drops are there and coming out. And I'm thankful to have a great team around me that motivates me and pushes me to keep going as hard, because a lot of this is muscle memory. It becomes muscle memory, but it's also discipline. It's the discipline of just doing something and keep doing something till you get great at it, you get better at it, and then you modify it when there's downside, and then you make that muscle grow, so to speak, like in your business, right? And then it becomes a euphoric endorphin release where now I look forward to coming on this microphone and talking and learning and sharing people's stories, and to see where it was 3 years ago to what it is today. I am, enamored by the success, enamored by the growth, and, sky's the limit, man. And I'm thankful that you see that, you know what I mean? And again, just like Paramount Gym has grown as well, I'm happy to have you back on to talk about the growth that's happening now. Before I even get into that, I'm going to ask you a question that I ask everybody on this platform. And I don't know if I asked you this 3 years ago because, again, we were a mustard seed. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. But now we have a format. So I ask this to everybody when they come on the show. And I'm going to ask you today, and since this is your second time, I'm going to rephrase it a little bit. Who is John Ramsay today versus who he was 3 years ago? Pregnant pause.
John Ramsay is a really good yet really imperfect person.
I like the honesty. Yeah.
I think that I think I've always been that. I think the difference between now and 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, as time goes on, I become more aware and accepting of my imperfections, and more accepting of the fact that I am a good person, and that those imperfections don't impact the fact that I'm a good person. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Go ahead.
So I think I could spend, again, I mean, you did it in 120 seconds, but I could spend the next hour and a half telling you who I am. That changes on any given day. I think that the definition that I gave you was probably the foundation of it, of where all the roots of any the different levels come from. I mean, obviously I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a creative. I'm a significant other. I am a son. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle. I'm a friend. I'm a ton of different things, but I think that, if you really, I'm a person who's just, I'm acutely aware of my assets and my defects. And I think as time goes on, as I just grow more into the acceptance of who that person is.
I like that, because I think the most important word you said in that whole diatribe is aware. And I think a lot of people are just not aware of their defects and their gifts. So it goes both ways, right? Because, you know, some people are too caught up in their own ego and their own hubris, and they're like, yeah, I'm the man, and I can't do nothing wrong. The fact that you're aware that you do have defects, you do have gifts, but you're kind of balancing it out. And I think in life, just like a podcast, it's a beautiful dance. You got to dance to the rhythm of your life. And you know that there's going to be some days that are going to suck, and there's going to be some days that are going to be fruitful and amazing, but embrace the sucky days, embrace the fruitful days, because you're still alive and you're breathing. And we should be thankful for just that. And you're aware of the fact that you can hold yourself accountable and work through the imperfections that you know you have, and your acute attention to it to get better is not, there's no road to, there's no destination. It's just a constant journey to getting better. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm also fortunate enough that I have I have plenty of people around me that are more than happy to remind me of my defects.
Yeah. But you kind of need that though, right?
Yeah,
you need
course.
somebody to tell you, you know what, John,
course.
you suck for doing that.
Yeah.
You need to have, because if someone's just putting you up on a pedestal all the time and not telling you the real truth about who you are, you're going to run around blind just being enabled or expecting to be enabled by everybody. So you got to have those friends in your life. You got to have those family members in your life that are going to sit you down and say, dude, you're wilding out.
Yeah.
Like, you got to chill, bro. Like, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
And you have that core group that keeps you grounded. So again, going back to that word, aware, if you're so aware of that, there's only but up that you're going to get to. Because there's people in your position that are business people, that are entrepreneurs, and they are narcissistic / sociopathical. You can't tell me nothing. I'm the emperor. I'm the king. You peasants. This is a true thing. But the fact that you have that awareness around you and that group around you, I think you're going to keep growing to levels that you don't even see yourself in the next 5 years growing to.
I hope so.
No, I
hope so.
I mean, your business is a testament to that, from where you were 3 years ago to now,
Yeah.
and how you guys have this growth. Your growth as a human being, as a man, that has grown as well. What are now you said balancing the good and the and you said the defects. What's the good? What's the defects? Can you break that down?
You want me to list them out for you?
No, whatever comes to you. I mean, anything that's like a highlight for you.
No, listen, I'm a human being, and I think, as the case with all human beings, I have an urge to be selfish. I think that's human nature.
That's a human nature thing, though. Yeah,
and I think that there's the that is not giving into that urge, I think, is a practiced art form. So it's any defect that I could sit here and list to you is literally going to be an offshoot or a byproduct of my urge to give in to being selfish, my urge to take care of me and only me right now, immediately. I'm uncomfortable. How do I make myself comfortable or less uncomfortable as quick as possible?
Got it.
I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. That's the core of drug addiction. I mean, it's, that's selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Like my default, maybe not so much anymore, but I think at one point my default was selfish.
Selfish.
And it's a daily practice to spend as much time as possible not in that default.
No, it makes a lot of sense, because, like I said, going back to what you were saying about being selfish, that is a human trait that we can't change. We can just try to, fine tune it. So
it's a defense mechanism. It's a coping mechanism. Everybody wants to feel good. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable.
And there's good ways to be selfish. Like if you need 2 hours, like for me, I need to be at the gym for 2 hours every morning. That's a selfish need that I need, because if I can't be good to myself, I can't be good to others.
Very
so
true.
That's like a self-care thing, right? Now, if I needed 2 hours to drink an excessive amount of alcohol and do stupid, belligerent things, that's selfish in a bad way. That's stuff I don't want to do. But as you grow and evolve, you start to kind of, take in what's good and spit out the bad. You know what I mean? And I think that's an ever changing process. Like, when you're telling me your birthday's coming up May 17th, right? So, who you were today versus who you were 10 years ago, if you're still the same person, you kind of wasted 10 years of your life.
Treading water.
So, so it's a constant you versus you battle to like, I know that I don't want to say the word infected. I'm ingrained with this selfishness. I'm ingrained with this need to want for myself, ego, me. But I'm going to try to do the right thing and be a good person and not always put myself first.
I mean, it seems, and again, maybe I'm just being hard on myself, but it seems like it comes so naturally to people. I mean, you have people, perfect example, the two closest people to me, Justin, and my girlfriend, Kristen.
Shout out Justin and Kristen.
It seems like it comes so naturally to them.
But that's the
and then
trick.
you have a guy like me or like Scott, and it's an effort. And I think that, we're, Scott's an amazing person. He's one of my best friends. He's my brother, but, it's just, it seems like it's, you see people like them, and it's just, it comes so easily to them,
But that's the trick, right? It's like, they're also your friends, but none of us know what the hell is going on. We're all in this world trying to figure it. Some people have a better mask that they can kind of put on in the face of adversity where it doesn't seem as heavy to someone like you that's looking at them, but they go home and they wear that and they carry that and they have to find a way to manage that. But and I kind of relate to you because I'm very hard on myself as well. Like I'm the type of, like my buddy can have 3 slices of pizza and he's like, life is great, I'm chilling. I have 3 slices of pizza. I'm like, oh my God, it's like 900 calories. I got to do 45 minutes on a Stairmaster.
That's Justin.
But you see, but you just mentioned how
I have 3 slices of pizza. I'm like, where are we getting ice cream?
But that's a beautiful example because you just proved to me that Justin is like you and he is like me.
I mean,
we just deal with it differently, but we're all facing the same issues. It's just some people have different ways of coping and dealing than others do. But as long as a collective, you guys are all going forward, I think that's the most important thing. If you're digressing back into bad habits, into bad things, or doing bad things, or treating people like crap, that's going to make you a crappy human being. No one's going to want to be around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're not digressing and you're taking in the bad and you're putting out good and you're not just internalizing it, but you're dealing with it, I think that's the sign of someone that has hope and prosperity. You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta just say, don't be so hard on yourself, man. You're doing what a lot of people are scared to do, and that's running a business. That's being a great significant other, being a great family member, and just being a good freaking human being. Yeah, you know what I mean? Believe it or not, you got to figure it out more than like probably 90% of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Bad for 90% of the world.
It's not easy, man. It seems like your life is built on discipline, right? So is that something that, you learn throughout life as far as being disciplined and understanding what limitations are and things of that nature?
I think I'm very... Discipline comes easier to me in some areas than it does others. I mean, it's, I think once something gets my attention, and I enjoy it, I begin to obsess about it.
You're on it.
I obsess. I mean, I'm an addict through and through. But once I become obsessed, I lock in on something, and that obsession does not go away until I appease it, till I quell it, but I'm not able to get obsessed about everything. I mean, there's things that I've tried, whether, the eating healthy, we joked about it off. I have not, it's one of the few things that I have not been able to apply that same obsession to. Justin, easily. Yeah.
But what can you do better than Justin? There's something that you do better than Justin. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like we all have our
Oh
You know?
yeah. I mean, I mean, I'm sure there's tons of things, but
Yeah.
there's I'm just like, I'm just, the picture I'm trying to paint is that, I don't have a across the board discipline. I would not call myself, a disciplined person.
Got it.
So it's, I think for me is that it's, I feel like the word obsession is such a negative word, but I need to lock in on something. And it's really up in the air on what I'm able to lock in on.
You said that last time we met. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
If I'm able to, some things I can, some things I can't.
Gotcha.
And, I'm fortunate that, when it comes to the business, and, I talked to you when we were talking over, messages,
Yeah.
that it's kind of helped to, me and Justin have really fallen into our roles. We sat down with you last time and we were the owners of Paramount Gym.
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
business partners,
Right.
and that was it. And if you were asked us what our roles were, we were both owners of Paramount Gym. And I think that the one thing that I'm grateful for over the last few years is that we have really settled into our roles. And one of my roles is that creative aspect, the brand, kind of what you see from the outside looking in. And because I don't want to say I am not able to not be obsessed with it. So I enjoy it. And it's, that I've kind of settled in is that's my role, like that, really, really honing in on the brand and the aesthetic and what you see. I mean, we touched on it a little bit. Last time we sat down, I told you I watched the episode just to kind of brush up, but when it came to the logo and the colors
Yeah, I
and the
remember
whole
that, yeah.
aesthetic, Justin kind of let me drive the car on that. And, the more as time has gone on, and it's happened naturally. There's been conversations about it, but it's happened naturally that we've fallen into our roles, and that's what I lock in on. That's what I obsess about 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is that aesthetic, the package that you see at home before you even what you see, what you think about us, before you even get to us, and then what you see when you walk in the door, the experience you have, the energy you feel, the feeling that you have when you're in there, and then the feeling you have when you're getting in your car afterwards. Like that has become me. And it's sometimes it's frustrating because with obsession, you're never happy.
How can it be better? I deal with that too. Yeah.
There's no, and you never have the answer. It's just, you're never satisfied. One is too many, 1,000 is never, it's like that there's a recovery, quote for you. It's never enough. You're never satisfied. You're never happy. And that's awesome, because they say that like it's the minute you become satisfied, you drowned. The minute you stop moving, it's like an escalator. You start going backwards. So it's good in that aspect, but that's become my day to day, is that obsession. And I enjoy it. I do. I really enjoy it.
Go ahead.
And I'm so grateful to Justin that he is kind of just, I don't want to say taking a step back, but really express his trust in me in that aspect. And vice versa when it comes to me with his roles,
Absolutely.
I think that success is defined, our success. And I don't think I would have I definitely didn't know this the last time we sat down and had a conversation, but success isn't Justin and I being able to do everything and be the best at it. Our success is understanding what each of us are able to do and trusting each other to get it done.
Love that, man. And I want to add to that. I think that a successful partnership in business or in life, if you want to take it a step further, is having bipolar opposites. For some reason, you need to have someone that is super creative. I'm talking about for a business aspect, such as yourself. I see you're a creative. I'm a creative. But then you also need somebody on the other opposite side of that that's a super analytical I call them paperwork guys. Like paperwork, like they're focused, driven on seeing where the business is going, profitability, spending, where are the dollars being placed? How are they being utilized? How can we grow in this space of the business? How can we scale on this side of the business? And on the scaling side, it works hand in hand because now you as the creative, hey, I got to go out there and create some type of necessity for Paramount Gym.
Yes.
And that works hand in hand. If you create the necessity and the need, and Justin handles the back end of that on how to, where to place the money at that's getting made from the creative, you got yourself a perfectly good running business that has nothing but scalability to it.
Absolutely. But I also just want to clarify, he is 100% better at that than me. The operational.
Yeah. You're a creative, dude.
Yeah,
You're a creative, man. I can see.
Yeah.
You get easily distracted?
Very.
Me too. I'm a creative. We're sharing a brain, man. That's part of being a creative.
I have a friend who always makes fun of me. At that, we'll be in a conversation, and my phone will go off, and I'll look at my phone mid conversation. I just walk away. He'll be mid talking, and he's like,
"That's super."
But
extreme.
I don't.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's. I just want to clarify something in regards to Justin when you talked about that with his role. He does all that, but he has spent his life and as you know, in management, upper management. But we have a fairly large staff, so Justin not only handles that back end, but Justin is 100% the leader of our staff. He's a leader.
Gotcha.
And me, I'm a fly buzzing all over I'm bouncing. I'm a pinball. I'm bouncing off the walls. And Justin is 10 toes down, on the ground, sturdy as a rock, leading, our staff, pouring into people constantly. So I don't want anybody to get the misconception that Justin's sitting in an office somewhere with a file or a notepad or a calculator, because he's not.
Got it.
Justin is a leader.
No, he's
and he is, he has built a personal training program that we never thought was imaginable. That's still growing. We have some of the best trainers that I have ever met in my life. Best trainers and best people. Awesome people, different personalities. And that is because Justin's brought that out of them.
Gotcha.
Justin is a leader.
Yeah.
Justin is patient and supportive and intentional in a way that I'm not capable of being. And we both understand that, and that's okay. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I'm more comfortable bouncing off the walls, and
that's your comfort zone.
And Justin can't handle that. Justin can't be that.
Justin needs structure. He needs to be more kind of, in a role that he feels that there's place markers and he's kind of getting up next. And I get it. I mean, there's a book called Monday Morning Leadership. I love this book. I used to manage a staff of 25 people at one point. So I get the whole leadership thing, but it is about filling people's buckets and draining people's buckets. And a piss poor leader will constantly drain a worker's bucket to the point they're either going to quit or get fired or they'll steal from you. Now, when you fill someone's buckets, you look at what they do that's amazing and great, and you feed off of that intention. You know what? I like the way you train that. I like how you train our clients that come in here. I'm going to make you the personal trainer manager or something like that. You know what I mean? So kind of lift their buckets up. So it's like a dance, up and down, up and down. In the creative space, which is what you're, honing in on, it is the Wild West, because you have to kind of literally start with nothing and make something of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How does that process work for you? How do you do that?
Inspiration.
I
mean, it's not, listen, there's no such thing as an original idea. Anybody who who tells you otherwise is dishonest.
Yeah.
But I think that first and foremost, I think that you know, this all started, and I remember when Scott was talking about like how he designs apparel, like when on your, like I make things that I like. I want to be, I spend so much time in this facility. It's my life. I want it to be something I enjoy.
Got it.
So there's definitely a balance between creating something that I enjoy and something that you enjoy. But then also when it comes to when I'm creating something that I enjoy, that's the authenticity aspect to it. And I think that authenticity has been huge for us.
Yeah. And you guys, I mean, I see it with your branding and the way you guys promote yourselves with the videos you're doing in the gym now. You're kind of making it, I mean, in the beginning, it was always like a culture thing, but now it feels like, damn, Paramount feels like a movement. Like, I just want to be in the building. Seriously.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I mean, I hope so.
I want you, the way you guys curate your social media, it's something you're creating the necessity where someone wants to go there if they're like a seasoned athlete and they just want to use different equipment or they want to be around other people that are like-minded like them. You guys created that space.
Well, I think that, and again, you know, I have to backpedal and talk, you know, we are, one of our assets, I think that has helped us is that we've been authentic. You know, I've never tried to sell myself as something I wasn't. Like, you know, I'm a, you know, 42-year-old guy. I'm not in impeccable shape. I'm not. No, but I'm not. I'm not that good.
Bro.
No,
Come
I know
on.
I do, but I'm not. But it's you don't. I'm not running around in these, you know, the clothes that a lot of
Got
these,
it. Yeah.
it's important for me to be honest about who I am.
Got it.
Because in business, in life in general, if you're not authentic, especially a consumer, they smell that on you a mile away. I mean, you know, I mean, it's, you know, why do you think used car salesmen have such a bad rap? You know, that you go in, it's
not real.
It's not authentic. It's not authentic.
So you're doing something right with the authenticity because I'm seeing the growth. I'm seeing how you guys have started and where you are now. And also you guys are likable people. I think people just want to be around likable people.
I think that helps.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody wants to go to a gym where the guy's a douche.
I think that, I mean, like I have my moments where I'm not the most pleasant person in the world, but you know,
You're really,
I try
no
hard.
way. Come on.
Stop. No,
Stop. You could be mean.
Justin always, I mean,
Have you ever
I have a
barked
short
at an
fuse,
employee
man.
or something?
I have a short fuse. I'm not, you know, it's something I told you, I'm imperfect, bro.
So
that's what we're going to talk about, man.
But that's cool though.
I am 0 and 100. Justin is everything in between.
The balance.
Yeah.
But I think you guys are successful, not because of the strengths and the imperfections that both of you have. I think it's because you balance each other very well. It's a balancing act. If one person wants to do more than the other and the same thing they're good at, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
There's no return on investment there. You guys literally know how to equally balance each other. And I think it's a great thing, but there's always work to be done. There's always more improvements that need to happen. I mean, I see it. You guys get new equipment. You guys always have new videos out. You guys are have the new personal training program. Since I've met you guys have always gotten better. Like every 2-3 months, there's always some merchandise dropping, exclusive. Like you guys are just rocking. You know what I mean?
You know
like,
how insane that merch made me. I'm like,
dude, I know. I mean, I'm wearing my prototype now, but
I said like
it's daunting.
It tortures.
It's tortures,
me.
right? Yeah.
But it's always successful. You know, it's always well received. But
it is well received. But you're hard on yourself.
I'm so, oh my
dude,
goodness,
Julian right here sitting next to me can tell you, like, he probably sees my text like, oh God, this guy's got notes. I can't stand his notes. And then my partner sends me all the merch. And I text him on the side. I'm like, you know, I got notes, right? He's like, yeah, I know you got notes. Just send them to me another day. But I think it's the drive to want to be better.
Scott is very creative in that sense as well. When it comes to like the social media stuff, especially the merch, they've. I mean, talk about inspiration. They've especially when it comes to the merch, they're awesome. Bar none, the best merch ever. Mm-hmm. And that is, if not 100%, 99.9% Scott.
No, Scott's a super creative like you.
Like when I have stuff, when I have an idea, I'll send it to him, and like it's like, if his face doesn't immediately light up, it's like, fuck.
Yeah, you're like, damn, I didn't hit it. I didn't hit it. Yeah.
But
you have that same quality that Scott has.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you got. But it's good to have the crew to go to and say, dude, what do you think of this? It sucks. Is it good? What do you know?
Yeah.
I do it all the time too. So it's good to have that. At least you have the support system.
Yeah.
Because some people out here flying solo and are just building crap.
Yeah.
And no one knows. No one's telling them, no, it's not a good idea. You know what I mean? So you guys have definitely, and I know you're hard on yourself, but I think you guys have definitely pushed the boundary of what Paramount was 3 years ago versus what it is today. What do you have in the works now for the future for Paramount?
If you ask me, I mean, we're still not running on all cylinders.
Who is?
I mean, but you need. I don't really think that. So the obvious answer is to get running on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's all cylinders?
I mean, that changes.
Like, what's the focal? If you had to name the 3 biggest focal points of Paramount Gym, what is that?
Brand recognition, membership, personal training. Got it.
Now, what steps are you guys taking to maximize those three scalable things?
I mean, the easy layup answer is marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we really try to hone in on that. The best and least expensive form of marketing is referrals. I mean, you know that in business for yourself. You did fencing.
Yeah, fencing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's if your boy calls you up and tells you about this amazing experience that he had at Paramount Gym or anywhere else, and how you have to go, and he's your boy, so you guys obviously have something in common.
Yeah.
The likelihood that you're going to go over seeing an ad popping up on your Facebook. I mean, I feel like my friend likes it. I'm probably going to, he knows me. He said I'm going to like it. So I need to provide that experience for every single person that comes through my door in hopes that they, go home and call their friends, their boys, their girlfriends, their coworkers. And they do. We have a pretty impressive, referral base. It's
nice.
I would say that 100%, because we ask, obviously, anybody that comes through the door, how'd you hear about us?
Referral.
Social media is number one.
Social media, right?
Social media is number one. And that feels good.
Nice. Yeah, you guys have a presence on social media.
And then the second is, my friend goes here, so, they either heard about it from their friend or those are our 2 biggest, pathways in our door.
And I think, and I mentioned this with a restaurant owner I had a couple months on, and he owns Grano, it's an Italian restaurant in Scotch Plains, and we talked about community, how important community is in business. And I think a restaurant is just like a gym where there's like so much sense of community involved. You got to kind of create that space for people to feel like, yeah, this is part of a community, and I like to come here not just to work out, but I see the same faces every day. People like routine. People like familiarity. People like to go somewhere like Cheers and just, feel like they're home, away from home type of thing, right? And I think gyms and I think restaurants are big on that. Churches, another thing. It's all about community, building that community. And when you get 150 eager people that like to work out, those 150 people will be eager to promote your business. They'll be eager to come on an off day when you're doing something like the Heroes Climb and support. So I think you guys have a great sense of community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I've been doing a lot of reflecting lately on our why, and the importance of a why. We've been working with a business mentor lately.
Patrick or someone else?
No.
Oh, okay.
And we could touch on that too, because I have a lot to say about mentorship, but we work with this one individual that we met through Underground Nutrition. His name is Ken, and he's incredible. And he really, and he forces us and challenges us constantly to hone in on that customer service piece. I've spent a lot of time lately reflecting on our why, and what it is and how I can communicate it. Because if you can't communicate it, 9 times out of 10, your customers are buying you. They're not buying your product. Your product is everywhere. Like I said, there's no such thing as an original idea. Yeah. I have to convince people why they should come to Paramount and not the retro fitness next door, especially at twice the price.
Gotcha.
So I've been doing a lot of reflecting on that, and it's if I'm being like gut level honest with you, in the beginning, I think we just wanted to be. I think like I said, we saw a huge push of the gym fitness, the gym, like really social media had really got its hands on fitness and made it very cool.
Yeah, fitness, it's like food blogging. It's like big right now.
I don't know. I mean, I was busy doing a lot of other stuff, but I wasn't in the gym at 17 years old. You know?
Me either. No.
I don't think I ever picked up a weight until my late 20s.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we wanted to do, what we saw working in the industry. We just wanted to replicate it. And we thought that was the clear path to success. I definitely did not know how hard the work was. I wasn't aware of the behind the scenes. So I think that we have, over time, every day, we get a little bit more comfortable being ourselves, and really customizing that package that we deliver. So in regards to the why, you touched on the community sense. I think that, I heard somebody say recently on another podcast, that one of the basic human needs is as important as food and water is a sense of belonging. People want to feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves. And it's, it's why we have, you see it going on in a negative aspect. You see it going on in the political divide right now in this country. God. People just want to be a part of something.
Well, that's because they're just paying these groups to put picket signs.
Yeah, but you understand. Yeah. I'm a part of this group, and I think this way. And now, and I really wanted to. I think we really want to break that that need down to like the purest form, and just provide an atmosphere where everybody walks in the door and they're home. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense. I think community, going back to the community piece and with the gym, you got to create a space where people can come from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, all different, religion, political, you name it, and just kind of feel good where they are together. That's the whole point of it. I
wanted like a quick story in regards to that. And I'm going to try, like I said, I'm going to try not to get upset because it's still pretty new, but I lost my dog a little over a week ago.
I saw that. I was going to talk to you about that off camera, but I'm sorry, man.
That's okay.
I'm a dog owner.
I have.
That hit me when I saw that post.
I'm broken. 11 years.
I can't imagine.
But the outpour of love. The fact that people walked in the door at 7:00 at night and saw Justin behind the counter instead of me, and they knew. Because so many of my members know what's going on in my life. But the outpour of love that I received from my friends, my member base, I said to, Kristen, my girlfriend, based upon that, the outpour of love that people reaching out to her.
Yeah.
I said to her, the money will come. Like we succeeded. We are a success.
Yeah. 100%.
The money will come. It will come. It will go. It will come back. It will go again. We have succeeded. We have built, just for today, The work still needs to be done. You don't stop moving.
I think as human beings, and I think Bob Marley said this. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. You can fact check me later. But I think he said, it's your life is not based on how much money you make. It's based on the impact you've left on people. So it's true. Money comes and goes, and it doesn't define a person by how much money they have. It can magnify who they truly are. But
unfortunately, in business, it's the most common metric of success.
I mean,
I need to make money to keep the doors open.
This is true. Yeah. And that's a will of existence and survival, but there's a line where you cross where now it's like, oh, you're just price gouging me versus you got to keep the lights on. There's a fair balance, right? Like you can charge somebody $60 a month for a gym membership, but if you're charging them $400 a month, okay, now you're not just trying to keep the lights on. You're trying to drive a Lamborghini. You know what I mean? So that's what
I do not have a Lamborghini.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But it's like, but your heart is in the right place, and your sense of community and you're putting it all out there on the line every day when people see you. Your intentionality in business is grounded in a sense of care and understanding and service.
Yeah.
I don't think people really give enough credit to service. You're in service to your clients. You're in service to that community in Matawan. You're in service to your family, to your friends. That's something that no matter if you're rich or poor in between, you still got to serve. There's no way around serving. You got to serve.
100%.
And you're ingrained in that.
The gentleman, Ken, who we work with, who's currently mentoring us, he's all about giving. What are you giving?
Mm-hmm.
What are you giving? He talks about, his own personal stories and experience of just over delivering, always over delivering. I constantly think about, that experience. I mean, there's obviously people that come into the gym that I see more than others. There's people that I share more of my life with than others just because of proximity. They're there. And I constantly have to remind myself that like the goal is to deliver that experience to everyone. And it's, I don't know, man. You ever have those moments of clarity, those coming to God, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, come to Jesus moment.
That experience, that tragedy, that was inevitable. It's part of being an animal lover.
Oh, but trust me, I think about
it's,
it all the time.
In the wake of something so terrible or upsetting, to be able to like really just sit in extreme gratitude and content that, like, for myself, you talked about being aware of not only my defects but my attributes as well, that I've obviously delivered that experience. People do for you because they would believe you would do for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just, I mean, I remember saying to her, and I said, like, those were my exact words. I said, the money will come. We are succeeding.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're doing what, like I told you before, 90% of people are not doing. You're showing up.
Yeah.
And you're just doing it through all the crux and all the BS and all the ups and downs. You're still opening those doors at 5 a.m. or whatever the case is. You're not just...
I'm not opening any doors at 5 a.m. Just for the record. I think that the last time that we spoke, I was doing that because Justin was still working his job.
Is he out of that job now?
Oh, yeah.
So he's fully...
6 months, Justin.
Congratulations,
he had a
Justin.
breakdown.
You made the jump.
He said, I can't do this anymore. But that's how it was in the beginning. Was I was opening the gym.
And he was closing.
I was opening the gym 7 days a week. 5 a.m. Monday through Friday. And then Justin was working 5 a.m. at his other job in Newark.
Yeah, I remember. And then leaving
and coming to Paramount and closing. So, but now, I mean, things have changed. We have employees that are awesome, that we're very grateful for, and it's that feeling of discomfort that somebody gets when they come in the gym at 7 o'clock at night and see Justin. They would get that same discomfort if they came in at 7.
Wild, man. Yeah.
When something happens or whatever, and I have to open the gym. I mean, we have that core, every time of day has that core group of people, but they come in and they see me and they're like, what'd you do wrong? Are you being punished?
I see.
It's a running joke with that 6 a.m. crowd that like John's in timeout if he's there at 5 or 6 a.m. Yeah.
Well, that brings me to a good question, because you just made me think about this. So when we first met 3 years ago, you guys were so in the business.
Yeah.
Like, you guys were literally opening and closing the doors. Now that you have employees and you have a staff, tell me what you're doing outside of the business to make the business better versus in the business. What I mean by that is, like, if you're not physically there every day doing stuff, what are you doing externally to bring more bottom line to the business?
Well, we're still in the gym.
Okay, so you guys
a
are
lot.
Okay, so
Justin and I are in the gym
every day. Okay, so you're not fully out yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm off today, but I even popped in on my way up here.
It
feels weird to not be there.
No, it's yours.
So we are still in the gym. We have a much more manageable schedule.
Nice.
As a result of our staff. We have Camilla, one of our trainers, that opens.
Shout out Camilla.
A couple days a week. We have John that closes a couple days a week.
Big John.
And we just hired another gentleman, Paul.
Shout out to Paul.
But we are there. But I always say, like, I don't get to the gym until anywhere from 12 to 2 o'clock. But I get up and I'm working.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it's stuff I enjoy doing, so it doesn't feel like work. But I'm on calls, whether it's with the gentleman Ken that we're working with, or the social media company that we're working with, doing strategy, going back and forth with the company that does our apparel. I'm
dialed in,
talking to people all the time. In the morning, it's almost like I get to the gym and I sit down.
Yeah.
It's really about all those things I said. It's working on that brand visibility, making it, showing you something that I want you to want to be a part of.
Creating the want.
Whether it's the apparel, whether it's the social media, I try to. I don't like to oversaturate, but I intentionally incorporate Justin and I on the social media because we're relatable. The way that we behave, that like joking around, talking shit to each other, that's how we are. We have that changing of the guard moment at the gym every day where me and Justin overlap for like an hour, and that's the energy that's in the gym. We're laughing, we're picking on each other.
Having fun. You gotta have fun. What's the point of this if you're not having fun?
Yeah, that's,
you know what I mean?
But I mean, that's when you talk about the stuff that that we do outside the gym. I mean, that's it. I mean, obviously I could really dial in and on any given day.
No, I hear
I
you.
could give you my schedule, but and that's not to say that I don't have free time. I don't, because that would be dishonest. I enjoy myself. I do jiu-jitsu some mornings. I love to play golf now that the weather's breaking. Yep.
You run a lot? Are you running?
No, I don't run.
No jogging? Come on, man.
I don't run anywhere, dog.
I like to run. That's why I asked.
That's awesome for you.
What do you bench? I can't. What can you throw up one rep?
I have no idea.
Come on.
I'm so broken and I think my max bench is probably 285.
That's impressive.
It's not recent.
What?
I couldn't do that now. I couldn't do that now. My workouts are very sporadic based upon, I mean, since I've seen you, I've I destroyed my back. I herniated 2 discs. Which has been a struggle over the last couple of years. Some days I feel great. Some days I get up out of a chair and I'm like, oh,
it's like
God.
death. Yeah.
Are you
going to therapy for that?
I did. The problem is I'm not consistent with it. When it gets bad,
that's when you run back.
I call up the physical therapist, or I make Justin or Charlie, kind of stretch me out, or like The problem is that I'm not consistent of it, but I do have, I do have moments where I'm more active than not. But it's funny how, I'm so resistant to the constant movement, knowing that when I am in that state of constant movement,
feel
I feel better.
Yeah.
I feel
you
better.
You got to stretch too. If you stretch alone.
I know.
That will alleviate
listen,
so
man,
much
it's the
pain.
story. The story of my life is when the pain gets great enough, I change.
Yeah.
When all I had to do was just a little bit every day, I would rather do everything when the walls are closing in.
Are you like a back against the wall type of guy?
Yeah, I work. That's how
That's how you're built.
That's a defect. That's a defect. And I don't want to. That's not something I want to celebrate. But I am a procrastinator. I am a back against the wall, high anxiety. That's when I work best. That's when I get stuff done.
I hear you on that because it's weird, right? Because for me, it's case by case.
But I don't have to be that way, and I am aware of that.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. Like if it gives you anxiety and it stresses you out, maybe you should start planning it out a little better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But then there's certain things that you're so good at, you don't got to plan it out. You just know you're going to show up and be great at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, again, like I told you earlier, it's fine tuning the defects and the strengths and kind of making it like, I come from the music business and we always talked about mixing and mastering a song. A hit record can sound amazing and be a trash song and it'll blow up because it sounds so good.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's mixed and mastered perfectly where the 808s are hitting here and the hi-hat's hitting here and the boom is. So you got to kind of do that in life too. You got to kind of balance the good and the bad and get it to like a certain frequency where you're operating in a very functional way that's going to elevate your game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's hard to do, man, because we're human beings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll tell you all this and I'll go have pancakes tomorrow when I should be having grilled chicken. What's your favorite pancakes?
I'm boring. Chocolate chips, I guess.
Oh, chocolate chips good. Whipped cream or no?
I mean, why not?
I do a little. I know I don't want to make it a food blog, a food pod, but I can't do chocolate syrup anymore on the pancakes.
I never did. I know I'm a maple syrup.
I used to kill chocolate syrup with the chocolate chips. And
that's crazy.
Dude, I had like 2 bites. I was sick.
Yeah.
And it's like you want to eat bad, but you're like, no, I can't do it.
Justin and I, another thing to kind of answer your question before about what we do. Justin and I, we meet in person once a week for breakfast, usually on Thursday mornings. We share a favorite breakfast spot.
Oh, I thought you said you share breakfast together.
No, what's going on here? No, we're doing well enough that we can buy our own breakfast. We're not millionaires, so we can pay for our own breakfast. But we meet once a week, and it's cool because we get to hang out. Justin and I don't hang out like we used to.
It's
tough. I've expressed that to him that makes me sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not. It
comes with the territory.
It's not. We don't talk. It's like if Justin calls me, I know he needs something, and if I call him, he knows I need. It's.
I think I told you guys that when we interviewed the first time. Yeah. I hardly talk to my business partner unless it's about business.
But I'm grateful that we have always remained. Justin and I mean, we've raised our voices. We have bitched about each other to other people. I'm sure he has. I know I have.
Have you ever physically fought?
No.
All right, cool.
No, I'm not trying to fight Justin. That kid's a machine. I mean, I am
He's like
trained.
CrossFit 2.0,
I'm trained,
that
but
guy,
I still
bro.
don't want no smoke with Justin. I joke. Justin's 40 years old, and I'll put him up against anybody.
No, he's a beast.
Anybody in the gym.
No, he's a beast.
But no, we have never. It's never even gotten to that. It's never gotten to name calling to the point where we left the conversation unresolved.
Got it. That's a good thing, though. You need to have resolve.
It's awesome.
You need to have
awesome.
resolve.
And that speaks to Justin's patience that I touched on earlier. That he's a patient person. He's patient with me. He always has been.
Mm-hmm.
But we we meet and we talk some shit. But we also we're very clear on our roles now. So it's almost like, here's my pile, here's your pile. Call me if you need help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's how it should be.
And then did you get that done? Did you do this? Yeah. 9 times out of 10, I'm asking Justin and he's like, it's done. And he's asking me and I'm like, oh I'll do it right now.
That's awesome though. You guys have a good relationship.
Yeah.
As far as
So we meet regularly. And then, I mean, I'm plugged into a lot of amazing people, supportive people. And, I mean, I draw inspiration from, I draw experience from, I draw support from, yeah, I mean, it's not a one-man show, no job is a one-man show.
Nothing is independent.
So it's important to give those, those people, those resources, the credit that they deserve. Because it's not, I think that, and I'm grateful to the recovery process because it's, I grew up in that process. So it taught me you can't do this alone. Like you need somebody who's been here before or you will fail. And the consequences will be devastating. So I've taken that mindset into business. And I think I'm uncertain of myself a lot and maybe to a fault, but I don't think so. So I really, I lean on that sponsorship model when it comes to mentorship and talking to people, whether it's somebody in business or it's a friend who I know supports us, or my girlfriend, anybody. Like the support comes from any and you never know where it's coming from.
It takes a village.
Yeah, it takes a village. It takes a village. It's
every piece of the community coming together to build a better you when you feel like you can't build a better you.
Yeah.
And you reciprocate that to someone else when they're feeling down.
Yes.
And they don't have what it takes.
Yes.
And you're here saying, you know what, dude, you can do this.
Yeah.
And that's how you build the community. And I know we spoke about this off camera, and if you want me to shut up, I'll shut up, but I want to ask you the question. How many years have you been sober and in recovery, and how has that impacted your life today when you look back and say, wow, look where I was?
My clean date is October 21st, 2001.
Okay.
So I am,
God bless you, man,
in the middle of
good for you,
23 man. Going on 24 years.
Wow. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Seriously.
So that's, and Justin is, I'm a terrible friend, but Justin is it's like 13, 14
awesome
years.
Awesome.
I think I had about 10 years when I met Justin. So he's about 10 years behind me. What was the rest of the question?
How did that shape you? And I'll give you some preface to this, right? Because I heard someone say one time, God made our feet forward, but you can't fully 360 turn your feet backwards because you don't want to go back to where you came from. But he allowed us to have our neck turned back to see where we were.
That's deep.
And see where we're going.
That's deep.
And the reason why our feet are not allowed to go 360 is because we're meant to move forward. So when I heard that quote, it got me, because I'm like, man, I struggled with marijuana for many years. I want to say, not many, 6 years. But everybody says, oh, it's not addicting. No, that sucker's addicting. That's all it takes.
I used drugs for 6.5 years.
Wow, so we were like in the same boat.
I started using drugs when I was 13, and unless I was in some type of treatment facility, I used every day until I was like 19 and a half.
Wow.
And it progressed very quickly. I'm not, like I said, I'm not taking anybody's pain away from anybody, but it progressed beyond marijuana very fast.
Very fast. No, I hear you, brother. Yes. And at your age, when you were doing it, you were so young and impressionable.
Yeah.
I was 16, you were 16. You want to chase the next thing.
Yeah.
Like chase that high. And what they don't tell you, the people that are, getting you addicted to these things, is that you hit a ceiling and it's never going to get to that level where you don't hit a ceiling. There has to be a moment where you got to say, dude, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And we've all had that moment, and I've had it, where I saw a movie on an airplane coming back from Miami about the singer from Queen and how he was addicted to, heroin and died from an overdose, all these things. And I'm like, whoa.
That's crazy, because I saw that movie on an airplane too.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
I saw it on an airplane.
Stop.
That was my last job prior.
You did too. Julian did too.
Wow. It was,
Wow.
and maybe that's cool because maybe that's a movie that none of us would have seen.
It's an airplane
Otherwise,
movie.
I like Queen.
I love Queen.
I love
Yeah,
Queen.
I
I really
love
like
Queen.
Queen,
Yeah.
and I don't remember how much I like them until they come on. But I my last job, I did a lot of traveling in the insurance business that I was in.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah,
And I constantly had the iPad, and I was trying to pass time that I was on the airplanes during like mask time, so it was impossible to fall asleep. And if you did, like they would like, no, Turkey, put your mask up.
I remember those days. Jesus.
And so
Even
I
though it's not going to protect you.
I mean, it's,
but
I can take it off to eat. But I'm like spitting crackers all over the guy
what
next
the heck
to me.
was the world on?
I don't
That's
know,
another
man.
topic.
I don't
But
know,
dude,
but we could
it
do
was
it, yeah.
wild. It was wild. But yeah, so you saw Bohemian Rhapsody
On the airplane.
On the airplane, just like me. And I don't know about you, man, but Freddie Mercury's story, man, it was like, wow. Like, and again, I wasn't that deep. I was just smoking weed.
It was wild.
But it was wild. And I said to myself, this is going to be me if I keep doing what I want to do to make myself happy. The woman who's now my wife, I love her to death, God bless you. She told me, if you keep smoking, I can't be with you.
Yeah.
And it's funny, right? Because I always wanted a good woman in my life. And I'm like, hey, you idiot. She's here, but you love weed more than you love the woman that is going to be in your life forever. So that right there, I'm talking about wheels down in New Jersey, stopped. Never went back. Never went back. That was 2017.
Okay.
And
I mean, I remember you speaking about it when we
first met. Yeah,
our first conversation.
podcast, yeah.
And congratulations to you, because
Thank
it's
you, man.
not, especially
congratulations to you.
especially in now in I mean, it's irrelevant in my opinion on its progression, but like a lot of this stuff is it's just such a part of normal society, and it's disappointing.
Sad.
It's disappointing.
It is, man.
And it's become so, the dispensaries are popping up on every corner.
Everywhere.
And I was talking to Kristen the other night, and I said, I still feel weird when I go in a liquor store.
Yeah, right.
Like if I come to your
taboo.
house,
Yeah.
you invite me to your house, or I'll go get a bottle, or like, a quick Christmas gift or something like that. Just, because it's like the respectful thing to do.
Yeah.
When I was working in finance in the office, I mean, that was the easy Christmas gift for like your manager, you know what I'm saying? Or a customer. But like, I still feel strange. I mean, not like, just because I never purchased any liquor legally, you know?
I see what
I was
you mean.
19 when I got clean.
Look at that. Yeah, that's right. So it was never a thing you experienced.
No.
Wow. But
So I still feel a little strange, almost like I'm doing something wrong.
it feels taboo.
I mean, the first couple years, I definitely felt like I was doing something wrong. I'm in my 40s now, so it's not, but it's, I never purchased a bottle of liquor clean. Like I never purchased a bottle of liquor legally.
Wow.
Prior to getting clean.
Dude, I know you said when we spoke off camera that, you don't want to make it a focal point, but as a friend, I'm going to tell you, man, moving forward, obviously if you're going to go do more speaking engagements and podcasts, share your story, man.
Everybody,
it's inspiring, bro.
It is.
It's inspiring.
And I mean, some of the people that we've worked with, in regards to mentorship, they've really, because Justin is, we're cut from the same cloth. That's how we met.
Yeah.
That's how I met the majority of the people in my life.
Yeah. Patrick too, right? Patrick was in recovery. Yeah.
Scott, Alan.
Yeah. Alan.
Alan does a lot of work now over the last couple of years, has really gotten into, pouring into that community.
Love that.
But that's what, I don't know, somewhere along the line, and maybe I'm just getting more cynical as I get older, but I don't want to be known that way. I think I made the comment to you when we first met, and I said that it's that community is, let me preface by saying it saved my life. Okay, so I don't want it to sound like I'm talking shit, because I'm not.
It saved your
my
life.
And I know that forever I have a place to go back to if I ever need it. That community is the only community that I've come across in my life that identifies themselves by something they don't do. It's and
that's deep.
For a while I latched onto that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to guess because you haven't told me that you don't race cars.
I don't race cars.
Okay. Would you ever introduce yourself to me as somebody who doesn't race cars?
No.
You know,
I see what you mean.
You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's so much more to me.
No,
There's
I
so
get
much
it.
more to me.
There's
so many things I do
I get you.
that I would rather you know me by.
I see what you mean. No, and that makes a lot of sense.
I wasn't supposed to get. I understand that the significance of what I did and what I overcame. I do, and I am very grateful to the people who, to this day, still support me. But I don't want to be known by that. It's just my personal. I don't want to be. I'm happy to if I think if you want to know, like we're friends. If you want to know, I'll tell you whatever I'll tell you the craziest fucking stories you've ever heard, bro.
Gotcha.
Like it's and I'll laugh about it because it all feels like a bad dream at this point. And I'm not reminded about it until I lose somebody. And every couple of years I lose somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll tell anybody if I think it's going to help you. I'll talk to you know what I'm saying? Because I still have friends that I've known and they're still struggling. They should every couple, whatever. So I'm happy to plug back into that. I don't have any resentment or issues with the recovery process. I don't. I've taken everything I've learned in that process. I grew up in that process and I apply it just by default to my life, my relationships. But I don't, if you want to know, I'll tell you. But ask me. I'm not going to beat you over that. I spent so much time beating people over the head with it, thinking I deserved some kind of medal because I didn't fucking do drugs anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I was never supposed to. It wasn't. There's a comedian. I don't even know who it is. It's Chris Rock, I think.
Chris Rock?
When he does I take care of my kids. You're supposed
You're supposed to take care.
I've always looked at it that way. You're supposed to contribute to society, or at the very least, not make it worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy to talk about it. I understand why people are drawn to it. And I understand why people respect it. It was not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. It's easier now. I'm not going to say I don't struggle with it.
Yeah.
My thoughts when things aren't good I didn't think about getting high when my dog passed.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I thought that was my misconception with people that are in recovery, because even me, right? 6-7 years, I haven't smoked weed. I never had the urge to go into a dispensary. I never had the urge.
I want to know what it looks like in there.
It's like a spaceship.
Is it like a grocery store? Are there aisles? You got your healthy weed and your fun snacks weed and like
but
your cleaning products weed. I don't know. Like it's.
I have. It's funny. It's funny, right? And I say this happy and confidently. I don't think I'll ever go into a weed dispensary. Not because I'm worried that I'll go back to smoking, because I'm not concerned. I just don't have the interest for it. And it's not something that really is a part of my life anymore.
I don't really love that culture. I think there's a lot more bad things that you could say about that culture than good.
Such as what?
In regards to what? I don't want to start talking shit. I just don't. I do
think that they promote this sense of just be high and just forget about your problems. No, man. You could get high if you want, but you got to actually be a responsible person. You can't just spend all your check on weed and then on food, and then ask for help. I'm sure I'm gonna get roasted for this, but I have a problem with, and it's become pretty big in the fitness community. I have a problem with the people that are pushing certain drugs as enhancers of anything. As far as working out?
Just anything.
Anything, okay.
And you're going to hit me over the head with research, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll even admit that my opinion is not based in any fact. It's based in my experience, and my experience is being around people whose lives were destroyed by drugs.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha,
destroyed.
Man. So you're talking about illicit.
So marijuana, mushrooms, opiates, however you want,
Well, what idiot is saying that it's good to have opiates and go work out? That's
crazy.
Not.
I'm not saying nobody's saying that, but some of the more natural, and it's just because it's how I am, but it's and my experience, and I'm willing to admit that I don't have any research reports to hit you with, but just say you want to get high, dude.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you.
That's
Be honest.
cool. That's cool.
Don't shield it.
Stop telling me
Don't
that you're
shield
having a
it.
mental. Stop telling me that you're having a breakthrough because you're not. You get high. It kills your brain cells.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why they call it being intoxicated because it's toxic.
1,000. Same thing they call, alcohol spirits.
You know,
there's a spirit
it's not,
in you.
you know, it's so again, I apologize to any of your viewers
Please,
that want to roast
no,
me.
no.
But that's just my opinion. It's my experience. My experience is being around people who have suffered and continue to suffer because of the disease of addiction, the family members of the people. So I get it strikes a nerve when you talk about your mental breakthroughs and medicinal use. Say you want to get high. It's cool.
That's it.
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, don't mask it. Because I think when you mask it, it's like you're enabling yourself to do it.
Yeah.
And that's not, that's not a valid reason. I agree.
Way off topic.
No, but it's all good though. No, but
you gotta say, I guess for clicks and views, you gotta like talk some shit. But
it's also getting to know you as a person too. I never knew that about you.
It's just my opinion.
But we share that. So I'm in lockstep with you.
So I have a hard time with that culture. I get it. It's fun. I never didn't have. I stopped using drugs because I didn't like the consequences. I didn't stop using drugs because they weren't fun.
It's heartbreaking. The result of breaking a family down from mother, father, cousin, sister, aunt, uncle, grandfather, etc. That is the most distasteful, disgraceful thing you can do to a family. Is the addiction that can happen if it's not taken care of. It can spiral out of control.
Yeah.
You need those people around you to hold you and hug you and tell you love you. They love you and they want better for you, and you want to have better for yourself.
The people around me that I told you, the majority of the people that are around me, whether it's my friends, my relationship, people that I've, come across in business from the same walk of life, they are the amazing people that they are because they suffered. They suffered for a very long time. And I get not to the point where I need to fight every comment I see, but it strikes a little bit of a nerve with me.
I hear you. I see that.
It strikes, and I don't really, all my opinions don't need to be out in the world. And I wish that more people knew that, felt that way about themselves. So I keep them to myself, but you asked me what they are. So,
well, but dude, it's part of life, right? To live is to suffer.
Yeah.
And to survive, that defines the meaning of the end of suffering. I mean, that's
a rap song, right?
Yeah, it's DMX. Okay. But it's also, shout out X, man. Talk about somebody that suffered, like died addicted to drugs, and was such a pillar in the hip hop game, and no one wanted to help a man that was suffering.
So that's my issue with the culture.
Yeah, let's use him for what he's worth, but let's not help him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, let's help.
That's the case with a lot of these people. And again, I'm not, but there's also somebody else in the rap game right now who is very apparently suffering. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. And Kanye. And he is suffering. What I'm saying?
And no one
and other people are suffering as a result of what he's saying. So please don't, I'm not taking sides.
No, I'm not taking, but it's, you're talking about a man that is sick, like mentally sick, and no one is helping him, and he's just going on these
worth
tirades.
Too much, man. He's worth too much. He's not going to be. But musicians often aren't very valuable if they have their shit together. I mean, that just seems to be the case with the greats.
Yeah, a music manager once told me, he said the people that are successful in the game that are artists, it's when you are at your lowest point or your highest point. When you're in the middle, they want you to stir something up. Oh, you went through a breakup? Yeah, go in the studio right now. Oh, you're having an issue with an addiction. Oh, go in the studio. Sorry about that.
Pain makes great art, man.
Pain makes great art. And it's sad that, to your point with Kanye right now, what's happening. And he, like Damon Wayne said it, he needs like an uncle to come around him and say, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that because he feeds a lot of people, and these people are going to enable the BS that he's doing. So hopefully there's a turning point for him. We can't save him, but unfortunately, it's the world we live in of enabling. You're in my age group, so we come from hard work your tail off, figure it out. No one's giving you anything. You're going to have to earn it. But now we're living in a society where everybody wants everything given to them.
Yeah.
So it's like, where do you draw the line? It's rough. It's not easy, man. You need a podcast. I'm sorry. I know that's like I know we're just having all these different conversations. It dawned on me.
But you have to. We live in an age where you're not allowed to have a different opinion. So having a different opinion is. I'm not gonna sacrifice my business or the livelihood of the people that I love around me just so that you know that I have I don't care. That was I'll be honest with you, man. Like when we talked about that kind of stuff with the podcast, I would refuse to talk about a lot of stuff.
I remember
for various different reasons, whether it's, but I don't, it's,
I'll tell you this, dude.
Again, I'll turn, I'll turn back to something that I've, in the recovery process that's been very useful to me. One of the 12 traditions in Narcotics Anonymous is that Narcotics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues. I try to take that with me as a business owner. Paramount has no opinion on outside issues. And I am Paramount. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Justin is Paramount. So I am not, again, if you want to know anything about me, I'm a pretty open book.
Mm-hmm. Same here, man. Yeah.
So I'll tell you about the drugs. I'll talk to you about my opinions on social aspects and politics and music and whatever. But there's no reason. There's no reason. I would hate to say something unintentionally that made one of the people in my circle or in my facility feel uncomfortable or unsafe.
I mean, I 1,000% agree with you.
And I realize that I have the power to do that unintentionally.
Yeah. But it also shows that you're a human being too. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that you're doing any of this intentionally. You don't mean harm. None of us actually mean harm when we're discussing.
No, I know.
It's just, I get it. We're living in the society now where you got to really tiptoe around what you say because it could offend somebody. I'm able to have opinions that are different from other people and still care about them deeply. I understand that that's not the case for everybody. So I don't need to talk. I know who I could talk to about what I want to, Your circle's there for a reason.
I have a topic. Yeah. I know who I could talk to about it. And that's it. Yeah. I don't need, I'm not that special, bro. Every opinion that I have about everything doesn't need to make it to the world podium.
Got it, brother.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. No, I totally agree. And then you have your close friendships and your circle that you can discuss those things with. But hopefully, and I guess we can table it with this, is that in the future, the society can look and respect people's opinions without not liking one another. Like if you don't like blueberry pancakes, and I love them, I love them. But isn't it funny though? Like you can not like the Yankees, and I love them, but we can still be friends.
Yeah.
But the minute you talk about religion or about race or about politics, I can't be your friend no more. Hopefully, there's a silver lining down the line. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we should all love each other. We're all human beings. We're all trying to figure out this crazy world called life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Man, we went all over the place, brother.
Yeah, let's bring it back in.
So we're going to wrap up in a minute. I want to circle back to Paramount. Tell all the listeners out there what they can expect from Paramount Gym in the future. Any special things you guys are doing right now in the works that you want to let out the bag? Maybe another location opening? I don't know. I'm just fishing here. What can you tell me about?
I think that we are going to, I think what people can expect from Paramount is that we are going to continue to do everything in our power to use our creativity to continue to and enhance the package, the product that we deliver. When it comes to big steps, I don't know. Justin and I have had, conversations behind closed doors. But it's, there's nothing, I'd love to open another facility.
That'd be kind of baller, right?
Yeah. It's just, and I think that not only that was that like you just kind of think that that's the natural process of things. I could tell you this right now, that Paramount is not the end for me and Justin. That we will continue in this, oh my God, like gas. I'm sorry.
Right,
That's coming into the microphone.
No,
I got like a burp.
Julian, you hear any burping? No,
Okay.
he's good. The guy's like Yoda.
I think this year, I think Justin and I will have a clearer picture at the end of the year in regards to what the next step is going to be for the remainder of the year. I think that we are going to continue to just really hone in on making Paramount Gym firing on all cylinders. We are in we had an incredible year last year. We talked about when we first met that a gentleman by the name of Charlie Adesi, who was with another organization. He since parted ways with that organization, and we had the opportunity to hire him. Charlie became a Paramount employee, and he was like our right-hand manager, GM, whatever you want to call it. And for 18 months, we were able to work very closely with him. He became he did wonders for us when it comes to all his insight and experience, and the ability to work with him closely every day was fucking awesome. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You talk about me bouncing off the walls. He's the Tasmanian devil.
Really?
And he is the best at what he does.
It's a lot of fire.
He is the best at what he does. He's no longer with us because he is opening his own facility. So congratulations to him. I couldn't be happier. But that was a huge turning point for us. He breathed a ton of life. Not that we were in trouble by any means, but he really he hopped in the driver's seat and we got in the fast lane. And we really took off. And we're very grateful for that. And he really set us up for success in his exit process. He's still in the gym on a regular basis. Man. He's still training some clients. He still has some clients. He checks in. We hang out. He has become a dear, dear friend.
That's so awesome, man.
When we talk about the relationships.
You took the words out of my mouth, building relationships.
So I think it's important that those 18 months were huge for us. He left us officially on paper, I think, last August.
Okay.
Like I said, he's still in the gym on a regular basis, but as like an actual payroll employee. But he really set us up for success, and we hit the ground running. And he said it. He's like, you guys are ready, man. You guys are ready to do what you've been doing without me.
Heck yeah, man.
And
I believe
for somebody who gives you so much to say something like that, and be able to step out, it's in the Instagram post, we did like a goodbye Instagram post to him. And I said that when you are the best at what you do, you want those around you to succeed. There is no, competition. There's no like uncertainty about somebody being better than you or going behind your back. Like when you are capable at that level, you want others to be at that level with you, because with or without them, you're going to be fine. And that's him. So, I really want to thank him for putting us in that position. And he hopped out of the car and we stayed in the fast lane. Last year was huge. You guys, the growth has been, like I said, I follow all your moves and I'm seeing the growth. And for me, looking at it from 3 years ago till today, I mean, kudos to you and Justin for really opening something, sticking to it, and creating a model that is being duplicated, imitated, but they can't take the original, which is Paramount Gym. You guys are. I really appreciate you saying that. There are other facilities. I'm not going to plug them because they're not, but they were huge inspirations for us. Yeah. And if anybody wants to ask me, I'd be happy to tell them. But there are facilities close to us that were a huge inspiration for us. So yeah, that's to answer your question. We want to keep the momentum, man. I want to, build this personal training program that we have that is really it's all encompassing. Coaching. It's a real all encompassing coaching process. What our clients are doing is amazing in and out of the gym, starting businesses, changing their bodies, changing their lives. You know, it's insane to see. It gives you that feeling of giving back, you know, that feeling you get. So that's the plan right now. We're going to continue to just hone in on delivering that package, that to really making sure that the why that I talked about stays front and center, you know? Excuse me. I think that was it. That was the one that was the one Julian, that needed to come out.
Julian will delete that sucker. He's a beast.
But and then as far as big moves, I think we'll have a clearer picture at the end of the year as far as what that's going to be. I'd love to open another facility. We have not talked about it definitively as far as making any plans. I don't know if we'll stay. Yeah, as of yet. I mean, we've had casual conversations. We've had casual conversations about a lot of things. You know, Justin's had casual conversations about picking up and moving to Florida. You know, it's I can tell you that we will continue this brand that Justin and I have been able to build, this relationship, this partnership. It's far from over. It's, you know, whatever we do, I believe in my soul that we'll do together. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be in the fitness industry. I don't know if it's going to be another facility. I have no idea, but I can tell you that, you know, we're definitely not just hanging out. You know, we're not just,
I can see,
you know,
that. No,
our feet aren't up. I mean, mine are up sometimes, but it's, you know, it's, you know, that's the best I can answer your question. I hope I did answer it.
You hit it on the head. I feel like, again, and just to, you know, we're going to close on this. The last 3 years, I see a totally different person standing in front of me from when I first met you guys 3 years ago and had you on the podcast. And wow, kudos to you. Congratulations. You have built an amazing facility with Justin. What you got coming down the line is exciting. When you're talking about the personal training program with the people changing their lives and starting businesses, that's a whole nother thing we can unravel. But wow, just from the marketing aspect to the Instagram to the charitable events that you guys have been doing, and to you know, basically just the community aspect. I want to just circle back to that. I think Paramount Gym is community. I think you guys stand for equalness and for everyone around trying to be better by hugging each other and bringing each other up. I think that's what Paramount Gym represents. And I wish you guys nothing but more success. I wish you and Justin more memberships, more growth, more locations, whatever is set to happen with you guys in the future, whatever that may be. I know somehow, some way, shape, or form, you guys are going to be successful. And I'm just appreciative that you took some time today to sit down, chop it up with me and talk about some of those things. It's really appreciated.
Again, and if it's I don't want to harp or ramble, but you know, like you said, you touched on the community. So, you know, I don't know what else you have, but I want to make sure that everybody that has been instrumental in this knows how grateful we are. I'm grateful to Justin, you know, above and beyond, because I am not easy to tolerate. You know, I mentioned Justin and Kristen. I'm grateful to Kristen because when I go home at the end of the day, you know, that force behind me, you know, that's her. Scott and Alan from Underground, I am eternally grateful to them for their friendship, their mentorship, their support. You know, Charlie Adesi, you know, the gentleman that I talked about, Ken, for, you know, from a mentorship aspect. And there's my members, man. I can't forget, you know, like the people
Absolutely,
that
man.
like
the people that keep the lights
trust
on.
us, man. That trust us, that look forward, and continue to pour into us. You know, forget keeping the lights on. I mean, obviously that's important, but you know, that continue to buy into us because they don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so thank you to everybody that continues to buy into us, because it means the world. And if you know, we are constantly, you know, trying to come up with new ideas and, you know, better ways to enhance their experience. I don't know. You caught me. You caught me at a weird time because, like I said, with the passing of my dog in the last, like I've been very.
What was his name, if you don't mind me asking?
Marlo.
Marlo.
He was named after Marlo Stanfield from The Wire.
Get out of here! Wow.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful dog.
Oh yeah, he was the man. He was every day of his life, man. He was beautiful. But
I had my Prince, my little Chihuahua. Prince.
Okay.
So and I know that feeling of, oh God. I don't even,
but the reason I bring that up again is the last 10 days is I've been very, the reflection and the ability to be in the moment has really been on point for me. Has been a lot easier because it's a day-to-day thing, to continue to go to work and like plug away. And, it's, I just wanted to say that because, they're in times of, difficult times is really when the gratitude kind of seeps up,
Absolutely.
And, I am very grateful. I am very fortunate. And I wanted to be crystal clear that I'm aware of that.
No, you definitely are. You're living it every day, man. And your practices, your business, it all shows that you're on the right track, brother. So take it from me. Don't be hard on yourself. You're doing a great job. I'm proud of you. I think I learned more about you today than I ever did in the 3 years I've known you. Thank you for sharing all these stories, man. It's going to definitely inspire somebody that's listening to this. I can't wait to hear the next stories when we have you on next time, man.
I can't wait to come back. Maybe Justin will come back.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do you and him together, man.
We'll get Justin back. He doesn't like being in front of the camera so much.
Yeah, don't worry, dude. Again, thank you. I know I beat you up last time with the mastermind question, so I got one last question and we're done.
Okay.
What's the biggest lesson life has taught you? Quick answer.
Biggest do it. Whatever it is, push the chips in the middle.
I love it.
Don't tread water.
Wow, that's a good answer, brother.
Don't tread water. Just do it.
I love it.
I wish I did what I did 10 years ago.
Dude,
just do it.
Wow. Love it.
It's cliche. It's Nike. It's
all good. No, but it makes it so simplistic, but yet so like real. That's it. Just freaking do it. Stop procrastinating. Just
figure it out later.
Brother, thank you so much again for coming on. How can people reach you? Let them know before we wrap up.
Like personally? Paramount Gym, 343 Route 34, Matawan, New Jersey. Our Instagram is Paramount Gym NJ. That's on Instagram. If you DM the Instagram, you are talking to me because I run the Instagram. So that's how you can reach us. Come through. Tell us you saw the podcast, and
please,
maybe we'll do something cool for you. I don't know, but yeah, that's it, man. 343 Route 34, Matawan, New Jersey, and Paramount Gym NJ is the Instagram.
Beautiful, man. Brother, much success, continued success, and thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you for having me, man.
I'm grateful to be here. Brother. My man. Until next time. That is a wrap on episode 40 of I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast. If this podcast inspired or moved you in any way, please subscribe to our Apple, Spotify, and YouTube platforms. And you can also follow me on Instagram by typing in I'm an artist, not a salesman. And we hope to see you next time. I hope you have a blessed one, not a stressed one. Peace.
I need you by my side.